Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. And it feels great to talk about a win at home again, Ross. What a Sunday night in Baltimore, man. The Ravens beat the Bengals 19-17 on the toe of the golden child himself, Justin Tucker. And we also all got to hang out. Jordan is not on the episode this week, but we all got to link up, and that was awesome.
Yeah. Been a while.
Yeah.
Definitely been a while.
It has. I mean, for you and me, it's been since at least training camp, which we met Dafe Owe and a rack of other players, which was dope as shit. But no, it was a very good game. Weather was great. I guess, slightly buzzed. I wasn't as drunk as I thought it was going to be. You, on the other hand. Oh, man. Oh, man. But, I mean, let's talk about that, man. You got down. I mean, I guess it started with the fireball shots, as always. And, I mean, you guys can see it for yourself. Roll it.
Oh, what? Run!
Back. Yeah. We had some fun. But let's talk about the game. You know, I mean, M&T Bank, there's no better place for there's no better place for football in general, but specifically primetime ball, with the amount of work they put into just the stadium experience. They were doing their cancer awareness week. Everybody got to, we got to fill out cards. People that we have been affected, of course, my wife did, her mother, I did my grandfather, and my mom and my aunt. And that was really cool. The wristwatches, with the LEDs, and of course, Nelly.
Yeah.
What did you think about that, Ross? Man?
Well, I mean, we got what we wanted with Nelly. I mean, if it didn't happen, everyone probably would have rioted. But they're very secretive about it. Very good. They did a good job with it, and everyone kind of figured it was coming because why wouldn't it? But yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where me and Colin were talking on the way home. That was probably like a once in a lifetime thing. You'll never have Nelly performing that song live and Ray Lewis doing the squirrel dance. Yeah, I messed it up, but just have him out there doing the dance live. I mean, that's just not going to happen again. And we were there.
No, yeah. So I think that definitely was the last drive that we needed.
Yeah,
to get into it. So we couldn't lose once he was there.
Man. I mean, there's no way. I mean, everything was, there was no way we could have walked out of that game losers. I mean, there's just no way I could have saw that happening. I mean, primetime in Baltimore, the only home primetime game we have this year, which is wild. There aren't a lot more of those. I know you don't like those as much as I like those. But yeah, I mean, what a night. But yeah, let's talk about that game. Out the gates, I mean, you can definitely tell, and maybe it's just me and but the Bengals definitely look like a team that wasn't the Bengals of last year. I think there's no confidence, obviously. I mean, we saw pressure on Joe Burrow. I mean, Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey shut down Jamar Chase. Just completely shut him down.
Weird what happens when you play starting cornerbacks and not,
Yep.
grocery baggers.
Yeah, because they were talking hella shit before the game, like on Twitter and in social media. I mean, I get it. They're a young team. That's just what they do. But, I mean, Marcus Peters went out there, and, I mean, there's one thing. You can't show up to a game in golden cleats and not do good. You just can't.
No.
And, I mean, he went off. I mean, a huge backfield play on a double reverse that, so many great plays that I mean, it just proves why Marcus Peters is literally one of the best corners in the NFL.
Yeah. Proves so what he not being there last year was the difference to a lot of the problems in our defensive backfield.
Yep, 100%. I mean, we didn't have defenders. I mean, after this game, I mean, I'm very confident. I think the defense is starting to gel. They're starting to do what they have to do. They played their asses off against the former Super Bowl team. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a close game. I mean, AFC North, you already know what it is. But, I mean, compared to the last year and a half, couple of years dealing with the Bengals, fuck yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, you have Ronnie Stanley back out there. And, I mean, everybody's been wondering, how he was going to hold up. Absolute phenomenal. Absolutely. It looked great. I got to rewatch the game on NFL Replay. And, I mean, it was there. He shared time with Makari, but, I mean, he looked like Ronnie Stanley. I don't think we'll have any issues going forward, but we'll get to that as the show progresses. But, Ross, what was your take on that?
No, it definitely was good to have him back. I mean, obviously, when it's our Ravens, seems to be the new thing is a pitch count with a lot of our returning players. So, said it was Makari was in and out, but he seems to have made it out healthy, which the good thing. He just had one day off of practice, and it wasn't Friday, which it usually was. I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, Bateman was out, leaving it for Mark Andrews, and Bateman to virtually be receiving targets for Lamar Jackson, who, I mean, he did what he had to do. He's clutching when he needs to be, but passing wise, I definitely think, not having that true number one receiver out there, it showed.
You still got to hit Wallace. You can't.
Yes.
You can't. He was not good on his throws. Bateman not being there at all, it doesn't matter. Everyone wants to talk about our wide receivers. You can't miss Wallace on that.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of erratic throws. He overthrew Duvernay for the end zone, which would have been beautiful. I mean, I don't know. Inconsistency. What is it? It is what it is. I mean, it's something I hope that they figure out. Hopefully they figure that out. But I mean, Duvernay had a really good catch. Mark Andrews caught one right in front of you. So I mean, we did see some production, but I mean, I think when the unique part about the Ravens offense is when the pass doesn't work, they can always fall back on the run. And that's honestly what got us in position to win the game on the toe of Justin Tucker.
Oh, no, yeah. Lamar, that last drive, Lamar was like, get out of my way. That's move. I'm taking this over. I'm not doing. My legs are taking us down on this last drive. Get out of my way.
Yep, 100%. I mean, and again, we talk about just toughness in quarterbacks and toughness in general in the NFL, and I don't know what's wrong with the referees, man. I mean, it's just another continuing example of just horrible officiating. And I swear to God, it's like week after week, it feels like it's just never ending.
Yeah. It's fine, though. Brady got fined for kicking Jared on the play he got a flag for. So, it's fine. That would equal out the NFL, I think, just change a game or find a guy who has more money than he probably knows what to do with.
Yeah. I'm sure it wasn't, it didn't hurt his pockets too much. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Lamar said he's going to start throwing his arms up now.
Which he should. You're one of the top.
He shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't have to, but I mean, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, definitely. I definitely think he should. I definitely think he should start calling for more. I mean, if they're going to toss, penalty flags out like Skittles, I mean, shit, why don't you go get one? I mean, because at the end of the day, the Ravens were probably a good 2 penalties away from losing that game. Point blank and period. About 2 penalties, 2 bad calls away from losing that game, and it's all over. And we're having a different conversation.
It's becoming too much a habit, and I don't like to complain about refs. I really don't.
Yeah,
But
I don't.
if it happens every game, it's not so much a complaint anymore.
Yeah, it's just a matter of fact. And I mean, it's hard to watch NFL because I mean, you see this horrible officiating across the board every game, not even just the Ravens, just horrible officiating. I remember back in the day, it used to look like it was just the Ravens, but no, it's just horrible. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where, I don't know. I honestly don't know how they could fix it. I mean, yes, they could. I know a couple of people have pitched the idea of being able to do replays on, roughing the passer calls, which would be amazing. Because I mean, we've seen a couple of penalties that were clean tackles. Specifically, I'm talking about the Chiefs here, but clean tackles that should not have ever been, penalties. Again, my mantra is: you put those pads on, you're liable to get hit.
It shouldn't have. You have a guy up in the booth can see it. Watch every replay. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, that wasn't it." Just a little buzz on, like, that's not a penalty.
Yeah,
they can see it. They're watching it.
How hard is that? I
Everyone
don't
complains.
understand.
Oh, don't have time. Okay. 2 seconds after we see it, we're like, "Hey, that wasn't a penalty."
Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, all in all, I mean, we survived all that. We survived all that to get a good victory. I mean, we needed that. I don't know how the season continues if we had lost that game. I mean, I hate to say it was a pivotal game for the season, but you get into a rut where you can't win at home, that becomes more mental than anything. And that's a scary place to be. Yeah. But we are not home this weekend. In fact, we are traveling back to MetLife to take on the Giants, who are 4-1. Who saw that coming? Who saw actually the NFC East? Albeit the Commanders actually got a victory this week, and I mean somebody had to lose. Somebody had to lose. Yeah, but we're traveling to the NFC East, take on the Giants, and I don't know. I mean they're looking like a good team. I mean you got Wink out there. Greg Roman versus Wing. I mean, you're talking about a guy that sat in more Ravens meetings than anyone else in the NFL. Who would know our offense better than a guy that had to practice against it?
I agree.
It's a scary game.
It is, but I mean, on that side of the ball, I mean, you look at the other side of the ball, our defense, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, their offense is Saquon Barkley, and that's about it. Not
That's
diminishing
true.
him at all, but pretty sure they're down their top 2 wide receivers. Yeah. I mean, let's not act like Danny Dimes is proven to be anything really. So, yeah, you got Wink against Lamar, but I don't see their offense doing much if all it is Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, essentially stack the box. It's pretty much it.
I mean, like I said, like that McDonald or Danny might have to stack the box a little more than he has been, but
yeah,
I mean, like I said, it's Saquon, and like I said, I can't name another Giant wide receiver right now.
I don't have an answer for you, Chief. I don't have an answer for you. And that's the thing, I mean, they're 4-1, and that's the only thing that gets me. I think that's the thing. You get too much caught up in the record. And I mean, Green Bay and London, I mean, it's Green Bay, but still it's Aaron Rodgers with who's out there to throw. So, I mean, you're not talking about last year's Green Bay.
Start of that game, the Green Bay is rolling on. New York had to come back in that one.
That's true. Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't wake up early enough to watch that one.
No.
I was not waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday that I'm off. There's just no way. Though I didn't wake up too much later than that because I had to get down to the city.
Let's not act. I mean, they're 4-1, but I mean, they got a 1-point win over the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
They got a 3-point win over the Panthers. What's that?
Yeah.
Their biggest win so far was over the Bears, and it just. I mean,
We
last
saw
night.
what the Bears could do.
I mean, and then they had the win against the Packers, which opponent-wise was their best out playing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. I mean, let's not act like they're a game buster 4-1 here, and they also, and their loss was to the Cowboys.
Yeah, and yeah, so I mean,
with Cooper Rush as a quarterback,
which is still wild to me.
So that's the other thing. They, like I said, haven't played anyone really. I mean, so that's why we're still favored.
And I mean, it makes 100%. Yeah, it makes all the sense. It's just, these are quality wins, but again, you don't want to fall into a trap game. I mean, if we play to their levels, it could be a nasty day at MetLife. And I mean, we already know that. I mean, that field is just cursed. We lost Fuller in week 1.
They lost their own wide receiver.
They lost their own.
It's universally known around the league. Pretty sure Calais Campbell said the Player Association had talks about it as of recently.
Yeah. To try to get at least a uniform turf or get everybody back to grass. Which I mean, why not? I mean, if you're gonna do turf, there should be a uniform version of turf. I don't understand how there's multiple different types of turf when you have millions of dollars playing on a field.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. I mean, the game does make me nervous. It should make anybody nervous. Of course, Ravens, no one has seen more freakish injuries. It just makes you nervous. But I mean,
Stanley, yes, Dobbins because it's the knee, and that seems to have been the key injuries. It seems to have been from knees on that field. And everyone's like, why doesn't he get more carries? People have been pointing out he hasn't had more than 15 carries in a game since college.
Yeah.
He just hasn't. We haven't done that with him yet. I mean, when he first came in, we still had Ingram and Bus. We still have Gus Bus. Now we have him and Hill.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't like that Hill's probably not going to play again. Yeah. Kenyon Drake finally showed something this last week.
Just a little.
So I mean, he's going to have to show something again because he's going to be number 2.
Yeah.
Gus still ain't back yet. That's probably won't be for another week or so.
Yeah. It's getting close to that threshold where they have to make a decision on.
Well, him, Bowser, and Ojabo, by the way, is back in practice. All just recently have hit that window where they have to make a decision. I think they have 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I think they've only had 1 week so far.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hearing about J.K. Dobbins, complaining about it, it's like you said. I mean, you didn't just come off an average injury. It wasn't like I don't know. You had an ACL injury.
They said it was ACL. They said it was a whole bunch of stuff torn up in there.
Yeah, I mean, you had one of the most creative injuries that we've ever heard of, and your position is to run. I mean, I get it. You want to get your touches. The NFL, it's a business. You make money off of producing. That's how you garner interest. That's how you get new contracts. But if you injure yourself again, no one's going to help you out. Because here's the thing, a second injury to that leg? Come on.
No. You know who he needs to be talking to this Sunday? He needs to go across the sideline and talk to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley just got done going through this.
Yep.
He's just finally getting back to what he was.
Finally.
He was pushed, and he pushed it before. JK's complaining, but after last year, the Ravens have become so protective.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with this right now. We need it. Yes, we need the running game. You've heard my opinion on Stanley over the past few weeks. He's finally back, but I mean, They're protecting him from himself.
Yeah. Because again, I mean, what's he gonna do? Not go out there and play? It's just who he is. I mean, he is a player. He wants to play. I get it. I mean, give it some time at least. I mean, granted fact, our running back room is thin until Gus comes back. I understand. I am curious to know what type of game plan they are going to go with this week. Because again, there is that turf. They're not going to want to run. They're going to be hesitant. Hell, they'll be even hesitant letting Lamar run. Last time we played him, it was in the rain. It's just, I don't know. I am confident, though. I am confident. Like I said, the defense is looking great, especially after Sunday, containing Joe Burrow, containing all those receivers. Look great. I don't
remember how to catch interceptions.
Yeah, you know, not his damn interception. Come on.
Remember, he's allowed to catch the ball.
That's all. He just needed a confidence booster. I mean, Danny Dimes out here probably will be throwing Danny interceptions. Who knows? Because I mean, we're definitely not playing Joe Burrow this week. You know, so I mean, you're playing Danny Jones with a bunch of receivers that we don't even know the name of. Saquon Barkley. I mean, the defense should have a good game as long as they play all 4 quarters. And that's the thing, if they play all 4 quarters. So we've seen weeks pass. We know what they can do. So I don't know. I am interested to see what happens. There is a lot of trade talk, of course, as it gets closer to week 8. Carolina Panthers fired their head coach, and just seems to be a house burning sale right now. And DJ Moore has been linked to the Ravens. Ross, tell me about it.
I mean, not too much to tell. I mean, it's a wide receiver. It's the Ravens. I mean, everyone's gonna, whether it's experts or not, are gonna link him to the Ravens. I mean, we can definitely use him. I'm not gonna. I mean, if it costs giving up Prochet, I'd be fine with it. I talked about him earlier. He can't stay healthy. We tried him to be one of our top, but he won't stay healthy. We went out and got Robinson, who's playing more than Prochet. You forget. I need to see him. I don't believe he's still on the team. I don't believe he's a real person. Actually,
you know. I'm a big fan of Prochet. I like the kid's heart, and I saw him on the field Sunday. He was in for a couple of plays. He missed the catch, and it was one of the things where he looked up at the screen. He knew he was coming out the field. It was like one play and done.
Yeah, him or a guy from Maryland who could come and replace him easily.
That's true. It's 100% true.
As much as we want Bateman to be a number 1 wide receiver, I don't want to, but he is starting to become the injury label.
Yep. He's now what is this? He's been reported that he will be out this weekend. Yay, my fantasy team. Why didn't I get Duvernay? Mike Thompson, you still look like a genius somehow, my brother. I am mad about that. I mean, it's just a telling story of just the Ravens. Can't draft the first round receiver. I mean, it's still time, there's still time, but they're not out to a great start.
There's also been others. I believe the cornerback.
That's true.
And there's been also from the good old Commanders. I believe they're probably close to a dumpster fire house sale.
Easily.
What's going on there. So there are definitely players there. Another wide receiver. Scary Terry. That would be an interesting option.
Terry McLaurin never came to Baltimore.
Also, I believe another cornerback. I don't know either. But let's not forget 2019. Ravens sitting there, and all of a sudden, we get a cornerback named Marcus Peters traded to us. We go on 14-2. Eric DeCosta is not afraid to make the move. It just needs to be the right move at the right price.
Yeah.
Problem with Moore, from what I hear, is he'll be fine price-wise this year, but after that, it goes up. And let's not forget, we still have a generational quarterback who we need to back to Brink's truck up to.
Yeah.
Could we take that on? Possibly. I believe if we did do that trade, that'd be one of those where, as the trade is talking, we're like, hey, DJ Moore's agent, we might need to do something here if we get this trade done. You want to see if he'll renegotiate? And then, one of those backdoor renegotiate trade, all of a sudden, oh, look, hey, we'll renegotiate his contract. I would love it. I wanted Stephon Diggs here. He should have been here from the draft or in one of a trade. DJ Moore, once again, should have been drafted here. I don't know why Maryland Ravens do not want to draft Maryland wide receivers. They did it once. It worked out pretty well with Torrey Smith.
Exactly.
Maryland didn't produce a lot of players at the time, but they had wide receivers. And look what Stephon Diggs did to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like I said, we wanted it to be Hollywood, but never really was. We wanted to be Bateman, but he's making it hard. We just have to, instead of go get one of those rentals like we like to get, go finally get a young stud.
Yeah.
That's going to already be here.
Yeah, I mean,
if we can't draft them, you know what? Some teams just can't do it. It's just, we can try. I like our progression a little better this year, past few years with our wide receivers, but hey, you just can't draft the one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you have a generational quarterback. You look around the league. I mean, outside Pat Mahomes, which is surprising. I mean, Pat Mahomes has Travis Kelce and of course Lamar has Mark Andrews, but I mean, those are two of the biggest name quarterbacks that don't have a true wide receiver. It's wild to me. I mean, Juju, he's not Tyreek Hill. And the Ravens haven't even come close to having anything close to Tyreek Hill. Hollywood, they wanted it, but it just wasn't it. I mean, you can't, and I don't know. I think it's an injustice not to get targets, to build that passing game that they want so badly, which we know Lamar can do. We do know he can do it. Get him a big name receiver. Let's see what happens. He'll want to stay. Get him a big name receiver. That's easy.
You bring him a big name young receiver that's already going to be here. Bateman, Duvernay. I'll take that wide receiver core. Bateman doesn't have to be a number one. Yeah, we want him to be. There's not really number one, number two. What's that really mean? Really? Yeah. I mean, your number one can line up in the slot. What's that make him? Your third wide receiver? No, he's just one of the 4 or 5 pass catchers you have on the field.
Yeah.
1, 2, that's actually starting to get out. I don't know why they have that still. Who's the number one? That's you're one of the pass catchers on the field.
Yeah. I think especially in nowadays NFL where it is a passing league, where people are passing more, where everybody's getting their hands on the ball. That's why even in fantasy football it's switched up. Most of the first rounders are receivers. Why? Because they're the ones getting 20 points again. They're the ones getting the touches, getting the yards. And the Ravens don't have that. We have Duvernay, who he is good when he can be. Duvernay's no Devontae Adams. Duvernay's no Tyreek Hill. He's great. I love him. Bateman's great. Love him. Love our guys. But we don't have a true number one. And we haven't for a very long time. The Ravens
honestly, the only difference we wanted to make is possibly what cornerback you have on you. And in the Ravens situation, I'm highly doubting they're matching cornerbacks to our wide receivers.
Yeah.
We don't got one of them. I don't see we got a guy like, hey, you want him all day. Like, I mean, so you bring DJ Moore, and guess what? People stop looking at Andrews also.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. They're doubling up on Andrews. It's easy. You want to slow down the Ravens offense? Double up on Andrews. Play contain
right now with no Bateman.
Yeah.
If Duvernay. And who else? You're Prochet. I wanted him to do something. Tyler Wallace. Yeah, I mean, and Lamar should have hit you, but I mean, you're not on the field, so man, you're not done anything before that anyway. And then I don't know where preseason likely went.
No idea. He disappeared.
Another person who's pulled a disappearing act has been Nick Boyle.
Yeah, where did he?
Still on the team.
He's on special team. I saw him on special team.
I heard he had 4 snaps this game. And this is with their other tight end hurt. We're running Oliver. I didn't expect that one. I said it on draft day. I thought Boyle might have a chance to be gone. I wasn't going to think he'd be a bench player to Oliver.
Yeah,
I thought
nobody
for sure it was going to be because of Likely and Collar.
Yeah. It's astonishing. I mean,
I'm not hating Oliver.
no,
but
kid produces. He does where he can.
I guess he's blocking all right. I thought we had Boyle because he was a blocker.
Yeah.
But
It's interesting. But I mean, again, even with all that, we have Lamar Jackson, the X factor, and we have Mark Andrews. We have those weapons, but again, we can be better. But compared to the Giants, I'm really interested. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be hopefully a safe game, Hopefully everybody plays safe, and I think the Ravens could run away with it. I don't think the Giants have an offense that, if the Ravens are going full speed like we know they can, depends. It honestly just comes down to who shows up.
no, and if Wink wants to blitz, Lamar has been way better against the blitz
Yep.
since the Dolphins game.
And he's going to try it. He's going to try it.
He will. That's not hurt. It's a battle of the coordinators that don't adjust at halftime, so it's going to be interesting.
Oh my God. But let's give it up. Game ball. Obviously, we know who it is. Justin Tucker, who is easily, let's just say it, not considering positions, probably one of the greatest football players in the game. Hands down. Not counting position, just on productivity alone.
He will be a kicker in the Hall of Fame.
Easily.
He will be a Hall of Fame kicker.
I mean, he was 4 for 4. With a long 58. I mean, 4 for 4.
He dreaded out. It was not. It could have been good from 60 something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to us, we're so used to seeing it. And I mean, it's still incredible. I mean, also to have the field goal kicked on your side of the stadium, which is just fucking awesome. But I mean, it's one of the things where I hope we don't end up taking it for granted one day, because it's just like he's saved us so many times. But it's going to be an interesting game Sunday. Be up at MetLife. Let's see who wins. Coordinator versus coordinator. Ross, any last words?
No, we can stop Saquon. We get our offense going. I think we should have a relatively easy game. I mean, I've said that before and saw what happened, but says we can play 4 quarters, which I think we can.
Yeah.
We've been doing it lately.
Yep.
Like I said, it's not Josh Allen. It's not Joe Burrow.
No.
It's Daniel Jones. With I don't know the Giants already. I already don't know them anymore with their wide receivers.
Yeah. No, pretty much. I mean, like you said it the best. It's not. We're not taking Josh on. We've taken 2 of the best already. I mean, we got a few good quarterbacks coming down the line, but Danny Dimes. It should be a good game as long as we can stop the run. If the Ravens come ready to hit, ready to play, stuff that line, should walk away with a victory, hopefully unscathed. But that does it for today's episode. We'll be back next week. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And stop recording.